Hi, my name is Dr. Lee Sung. Here's something nobody talks about openly. Men are obsessed with semen volume. Not just a few guys, tens of thousands of them. Actively experimenting, actively tracking, actively comparing. And the reasons why will actually make a lot of sense once I explain them. But here's what's shocking. Almost everything they're doing has zero scientific backing. Zero. And the things that actually work? Free. Simple. And nobody in that community is talking about them. So today we're fixing that. Let's get into it. 50,000 men. Right now. Participating in what might be the internet's strangest self-experimentation project. They're mixing supplement cocktails, measuring results in shot glasses, posting photo evidence to strangers, and documenting everything in spreadsheets. Their goal? To dramatically increase their ejaculate volume, or as they call it, Nutmaxxing. The World Health Organization has reference values based on large studies of fertile men. And what they found? The median volume of ejaculate is 3.7 milliliters. Normal ranges from 1.5 milliliters to 7 milliliters. I actually took a syringe and measured out these volumes and showed exactly what they look like. And they are not a shot glass full, not even close. A standard shot glass would be about 10 times the amount of normal semen volume. 10 times. Now there's a subreddit dedicated to Nutmaxxing, nearly 50,000 subscribers, posting about 600 times a week. They share detailed protocols, every supplement they're taking, the exact dosages, and then they measure and document the outcomes. And from reviewing this forum, I gathered a few things. Number one, men are comparing their semen volume to porn. Porn, a curated product. They use special effects to make volumes look more robust and larger. Number two, they oftentimes have partners who are really into it. And number three, they think of it as self-optimization. A lot of these guys are already tracking sleep, working on nutrition, workouts, exercise, doing other biohacks. They just want to upgrade another part of their body. And through collective experimentation, the community identified what they call their holy grail stack, 4 core supplements, supposedly producing optimal results. Let me walk you through each one and what the actual science says. Supplement number 1, lecithin. They dose this anywhere from 1,200 milligrams to 5,000 milligrams daily. Lecithin contains phospholipids and choline, essentially components of cell membranes. Sperm and seminal fluid contain lots of phospholipids, and they theorize that lecithin supplementation might increase activity in the glands that produce seminal fluid, making more of it. Now, when you go down the rabbit hole, they report that this is the most effective component. The reality? There are no human studies on this. None. There are some animal studies showing higher semen volumes after rabbits and roosters were fed soybean lecithin. Grain of salt, we're not rabbits, we're not roosters. Supplement number 2, pygium. The dosage ranges from 100 to 200 milligrams daily. It's an African cherry bark extract. It has some anti-inflammatory effects by preventing prostaglandin production in the prostate. Some studies do look at this for helping with urinary symptoms in guys with an enlarged prostate. However, and this is important, the leap from it improves your prostate to it increases fluid made from the prostate into your semen volume. That's theoretical. Really theoretical. I doubt it's doing a whole lot of benefit. Supplement number 3, L-citrulline or L-arginine. L-arginine has the most evidence for erectile function. How do these supplements work? They increase nitric oxide. Nitric oxide increases blood flow to the penis and throughout the body. Harder erections. Now, in the context of semen volume, they're taking this at dosage ranges of 1 to 3 grams a day. And as far as I can see, not much evidence for semen volume. However, one small research study does suggest that L-arginine might improve testosterone production at 5 grams per day, which in theory, if you're improving testosterone, it might improve sperm parameters. But here's the thing, that doesn't really translate to volume because sperm only makes up about 5% of the entirety of semen volume. 5%. So even if you increase your sperm concentration or your sperm number, it's not going to really change your volume that drastically. Supplement number 4, zinc. Zinc is highly concentrated in prostatic tissue and in seminal fluid, really important for the production of testosterone in sperm. Studies do confirm that guys who are zinc deficient show improved sperm parameters, specifically concentration and motility. But again, more sperm doesn't mean more volume. And if you're not deficient in zinc, it's really not going to help. And in general, most people in the United States consume an adequate amount of zinc. Unless you're vegetarian or vegan, have a very restrictive diet, a GI disorder, or have had GI surgery like bariatric surgery. Beyond these four, people add what they call the extended stack, maca root, potentially some benefits on libido and sexual function, but very minimal evidence for semen volume. Selenium, some scientific data on sperm concentration, motility, and shape. But again, more sperm doesn't mean more semen volume. Coenzyme Q10, an antioxidant. Some benefit for sperm production, although the evidence is mixed. Omega-3s, essential fats we need from our diet. Fish, flax seeds, walnuts. They help with inflammation, lower triglycerides, and may have some brain health benefits. In terms of semen parameters, there is some benefit, but the evidence is really mixed. Vitamin D. It does help with testosterone if you are deficient. If you have normal levels, not going to help. Tonkat Ali and boron both have seen some benefit improving testosterone, but the evidence is really, really small. For boron specifically, it was only 8 people. 8! And no evidence for semen volume specifically. Some other dietary modifications people tried. One guy switched from chicken to beef, someone switched from coffee to matcha, someone started walking 10,000 steps, and another one ate 4 celery stalks every day. Advice he got from an adult film star. And another swears by pineapple juice. Guys, none of these specific modifications have shown any serious impact on semen volume. None. In terms of semen parameters, there's a lot of research on diet, nutrition, and exercise. And generally speaking, whole foods, especially fish, poultry, fruits, and vegetables, are good for sperm quality. Coffee, alcohol, processed red meats, soy potatoes all negatively impact sperm quality, but these are sperm parameters, not volume. Now celery. That's an interesting one. Vegetables generally are associated with better semen quality, and celery is rich in antioxidants, which are good for testicular tissue. There is a hypothesis that celery extract might increase testosterone and enhance the function of Sertoli cells, essentially like nursing, supportive cells in the testicles that help testosterone production. There was a small study of 349 Chinese men, and they saw that dietary celery intake was positively associated with sperm progression and motility. However, no human data shows an increase in semen volume, but there are some animal studies showing an increase in testicle and epididymal size. And lastly, celery has a lot of water, and hydration has a huge impact. Now let's talk about interventions that are actually backed by science, and these exist, they're free, and they're more effective than supplements that have really no science behind them. Number 1, timing ejaculation. If you delay ejaculation, you will have more semen volume. And there's science behind it. A longitudinal study followed 27 men monthly for 16 months. They collected semen samples and tracked how often they had sex. And what they discovered? For each day of abstinence, semen volume increased by 10 to 12%, the most gains in the first 4 days. But then, plateau. Somewhere around 3 to 5 days, it doesn't increase much more after that. And if you're trying to get your partner pregnant, waiting too long can actually reduce sperm quality, so generally not more than 4 to 5 days. Number 2, proper hydration. Semen is made up of over 90% water. Your body simply cannot make enough seminal fluid if you're chronically dehydrated, so drink enough that your urine is pale yellow like lemonade. And you are going to be able to make more semen volume. That guy eating celery? He was probably getting a lot of hydration. And pineapple? Lots of water and fruit, all increasing hydration. Number 3, strengthen your pelvic floor. During ejaculation, your pelvic floor muscles contract rhythmically, specifically muscles called the bulbocavernosus and the ischiocavernosus, located around the urethra. They create these rhythmic contractions. Stronger muscles, more forceful contractions. More forceful contractions make the ejaculate come out more strongly. And ultimately, it looks like you're having more volume because it's coming out more forcefully. It may also help you empty the ejaculate from your urethra more completely, rather than having some left behind. Now, ejaculatory force does decline with age. Younger men can ejaculate about 30 to 60 centimeters, 1 to 2 feet, away from themselves. But as you age, that declines to about 15 to 30 centimeters, about 6 to 12 inches. And in some guys, it even just dribbles out. Pelvic floor exercises can maintain or improve this. But one caveat. Not everyone should do Kegel or pelvic floor strengthening exercises. If you have an overly tight pelvic floor, it can make things worse. So if you're having pelvic pain, urinary symptoms, constipation, or erectile dysfunction, see a urologist or pelvic floor expert, get evaluated. Number 4, stay healthy. Medical conditions can really affect semen production. Low testosterone reduces seminal vesicle function, which reduces how much volume you produce. And low testosterone is more likely in men who are unhealthy. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, obesity, diabetes, all put you at higher risk. Now, diabetes is a special one, not in a good way. On its own, it can cause retrograde ejaculation, meaning when you ejaculate, instead of coming out through the urethra, it goes backwards into the bladder, obviously making it appear much less voluminous. And if you're trying to conceive, this is a very negative thing. The only way to see improvement: better glycemic control, better blood sugars, better management of your diabetes. Smoking damages blood vessels all throughout the body, including those that supply your reproductive organs, your testicles, seminal vesicles, and prostate. Basically everything that creates semen. Chronic stress and excessive alcohol and marijuana can lower testosterone production. Avoid those and check your medications. Certain medications like antidepressants or prostate medications like alpha blockers, Flomax, tamsulosin, Rapaflo, or prazosin can cause retrograde ejaculation and make your volume significantly lower. Now, outside of people who have a fetish for semen volume, does semen volume actually lead to more pleasure during intercourse? In 2018, researchers surveyed 240 women about their partner's ejaculations, and what they found? 83% said volume and force didn't really change how much they perceived pleasure. They really only cared about knowing that their partner had an orgasm. Seeing the cues that their partner climaxed. Only 17% felt that stronger ejaculations enhanced their own orgasm. And 13% felt that maybe because there wasn't enough volume, they were having some issues with their own self-esteem. But if they're worried about whether their partner had a good time, they could ask. So if partners largely don't care, why do men care so much? Number 1, visual arousal. A lot of guys describe being aroused by the sight of their own larger volume loads. It's self-reinforcing. It gives positive feedback. One person called it the pièce de résistance, the reward for a job well done. Number 2, it's seen as a sign of virility. People psychologically link larger ejaculations to masculinity, potency, and sexual prowess. Even though there is no medical correlation between volume and fertility or virility, none. Number 3, it feels like something you can achieve and track. Compared to trying to increase penis size or enhance stamina, volume enhancement might seem more accessible. One person on the forum said it's so much easier, so much less risk, and quite honestly, a lot cheaper. Now, it depends what you're spending on supplements. But one thing I was surprised to find when reviewing this forum: partners don't always react positively. Some obviously love it. But one popular post talked about how his hookups found his loads disgusting. Some people like it, some people don't. So here's how to approach this safely and effectively. Start with evidence-based, zero-risk interventions. Hydration. Drink at least 8 to 10 glasses of water a day. Pale yellow urine. That's the target. Make sure you're having enough time between ejaculations. At least 3 to 5 days for maximum volume. Assess your pelvic floor. If you have no other symptoms, start doing Kegel exercises. Quit smoking if you can. Reduce alcohol to minimal. 2 drinks or less. Reduce or significantly eliminate marijuana use. Address your underlying conditions. See your primary care doctor, get evaluated for diabetes and blood pressure, get your testosterone checked. Make sure your diet is mostly whole foods, lots of fruits and vegetables at least 80% of the time. Sleep hygiene. Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep. Good sleep improves testosterone. And stress management, this is the hardest one. We don't talk about it enough, but work on it. Track your baseline, implement these changes, and measure your results. You will see improvements without any supplements. Now, if you want to experiment with supplements, wait at least 30 days after trying all of these things and feeling like you've optimized them, then consider it. Add a quality multivitamin. Get vitamin D if your blood test shows deficiency. Consider omega-3 fatty acids, both EPA and DHA. And based on this forum, lecithin at moderate doses might be worth trying. It's a generally safe supplement with few side effects. But here's the honest truth. I doubt anyone's ever going to publish a serious study on supplements and semen volume, because it's not a real health factor. It's a nice to have. And always start one thing at a time, one change, so you can actually see the difference. If you start two things and you're better, you don't know which one worked. Start with one. Monitor for a month or 2 or 3, then add a second or drop the first. And I strongly advise against megadosing any supplement without talking to your doctor, against taking 10 or more supplement stacks simultaneously, and against buying from unverified online sources. Always check where you're getting your supplements from, third-party testing, standard good practices, and remember, if you're worried about fertility, more volume doesn't necessarily mean more sperm. Get evaluated. Get a semen analysis. You can get at-home semen analyses. Order one yourself if you're curious. I strongly recommend it. So can you increase semen volume? Yes. Through delaying ejaculation, proper hydration, pelvic floor strength, and taking care of your health. The evidence for supplements is weak, in most cases, non-existent. And no matter how much volume you're producing, what matters is that you and your partner are experiencing pleasure and enjoying each other's company. The size of the volume, unless you have a really significant fetish for that, shouldn't be a huge part of it.